Hi everyone, happy Sunday. This is the Tower reading now for today. It's not a book review or anything like that. It is literally your Sunday tarot for all signs. So it's not going to be to any particular star sign. It's all of the 12 zodiacs. What's interesting, in the pre-shuffle, you had the Three of Cups coming out, which is all about celebration, this, that, and the other. And at the bottom of the heart cards, you got number 3, which is to nurture. So number 3 seems like a bit of a good number. So we'll see if it comes up in your actual spread, but this says nurture. And 3s in numerology is all about expansion and good luck. So it's very highly linked to Jupiter. So that's good. So it could be a turning point for a lot of you where you're starting to see a lot more things happening. But let's see what comes out. It flew out then. This has come out a lot. This one has come out quite a lot for you guys. This one says helpless and hopeless. It's number 8. Again, it doesn't mean you are helpless and hopeless, but look at the imagery. When I was saying about Jupiter, you know, the yellow kind of planet, that's where he's looking at here. This is where his focus is, but he's got 2 options here. So it's asking you to find out what your real option is. Sometimes fear gets in the way. You know, like when we think, I should do this because it's more money, or I should do that because of location or whatever. If it isn't calling to you, either option are just going to be going through the motions. They're not going to actually do anything for your soul path. Go the way where the steps hasn't already been built, basically, and just keep moving forward. You're going to feel helpless in the sense that you may be going out of your comfort zone, or hopeless, like all the people might not be around you that you need, or the money, this, that, and the other. But it always works out if you're doing something that's for your greatest good, that you're calling, that you know is the right decision. But it can make us feel a bit helpless if we feel like we're just jumping in feet first sort of thing. But the helpless and hopeless won't be that continual kind of feeling. It will carry on to something where you feel great, you know, and you'll be glad that you kind of went sort of the road less traveled, basically. So we'll just see what comes up. And 8 and 3, that's 11, which is a highly spiritual number anyway. So, you know, you might be seeing 11 all the time when you look at the clock, when you on like a billboard somewhere. And if it doesn't want to come out, that's fine. Ooh, that one. I'm going to read all of these because 3 did fly out, but they are relative to all of this. So we've got number 3 again. Take the lead. Was that succeed one then? Yeah, take the lead, okay? So this is basically saying you are the one that can... The life you want to see happens and begins and ends with you, basically. The imagery here is obviously somebody touching that really nice fireball, but that fire is within you. When I was saying before about what is it that lights your fire, it's there in you. You just have to access it. And taking the lead means taking the actions, taking the steps forward to go down that road, because it will work out for the better for you, because then you've got number 6, which is to believe and succeed. And you know, to have that belief system anyway, yes, you might feel like you're going out your comfort zone. Yes, you might feel like, you know, what if this happens, what if that happens. These are just human conditioning thoughts that we have all the time. But to believe and to succeed are basically saying that the vision that you have in your head, you know, you've got all the tools and the mindset to progress and to succeed. So it's just believing it. Sometimes, you know, the whole belief can evade us a little bit slightly, but it comes once you sort of break that initial barrier of moving forward to what it is that you want. You can deal with everything else so much greater, rather than having to let fear keep you in one position and stop you from moving forwards with whatever that is. That could be your ideal job. That could be something, you know, you might want to go self-employed, but you're not too sure how to do it. You might want to move to a different country, this, that, and the other. Anything that is relative to you, obviously apply this, because then you've got darkest fears. Now, this is very apt, because what happens once we do something out of our comfort zone, the old fear element comes in. And also it will raise issues that you may have about yourself, self-worth, self-esteem, the way you've been treated before by somebody else, going up by yourself. These will all bubble to the surface once you start to walk your own path. And the only reason it does that is because it's like a kind of emotional kind of purging. It doesn't belong to you. You cannot stay on an emotionally stagnant energy, like doing things every day, going to work, this, that, and the other. But when you want to change your life, old ways and old belief systems need to come out somewhere. You cannot change your life with the same old belief systems which do not serve you. Belief systems, obviously, if they're positive, great, keep them. But if it's just stuff that has been, needs to be brought up, needs to just eliminate yourself from these negative energies, this is what we would call our darkest fears, okay? Because we don't want to address them. We don't want to think, okay, no, that's been and gone now. And if you do find that once you are walking your own path a lot more, these thoughts do come up, just acknowledge them and say, I willingly release this negative cellular memory, because it is in the cells. It's all part of who you are almost, because when we hold on to things, it becomes so natural that we just forget how to unhold them and let them go. We think we let them go, but all we're doing is burying it a little bit. Extremely positive and massive turning point, basically. So let's see what the tarot says. So, let's drop my shell, 1 second. So let's see what the message is today for you. Message for today. So I'm going to read these three and then I'm going to just pick another one afterwards. 3 of Pentacles. 3. I said it's a number. It is the number for today. It's a creative number. So if you find you're wanting to do something more on a creative level, whether it be writing, drawing, painting, or something just expressive, keep doing it, because it's obviously something that's coming through. Starting off with the 6 of Swords. So this is you here. This is the strongest energy. The first card is always the strongest. This is you, where you may have... The positive thing about this card, it's moving from choppy waters back onto smoother ground. So whatever that choppy waters was for you, you seem to be going away from it a lot more now, just because you've had to, because you've had no choice, basically. Or you've just been so fed up with a certain situation that you thought, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm moving forward. So this whole helpless and hopeless card with the moving forwards, but his vision, that's where you're going, because almost sometimes we have to exhaust so many avenues, and just know that at the moment things are not going to change, or things are not going to progress, and we have to take that leap of faith and just think, well, there's nothing else for me to do. The good thing is you're being guided, but you cannot see that you're being guided. You may have signs like songs on the radio, pennies on the floor, white feathers, that sort of stuff. These are your guides communicating with you. And if you feel like any doubt about where you're going, just ask for a sign and you will get one. Say, if I am on the right path, show me, and then you can choose anything you want to. Like, I've used this before. I've used balloons, I've used orange footballs, I've used ducks. Show me a duck. And I'm not nowhere around ducks, but before I've seen it on what was it? It was like a kid's colouring in book thing, and it was just wonderful. These things always come in at the right time to help you. With the 6 of Swords, it could be also somebody coming in from who's in a different country coming in to see you, or so you're at a distance from somebody that you might not like at the moment. So that distance could be somebody in a different country, or it could be somebody who's in the same country but just at a distance from you, and it's like making you feel a bit low. You think, but I know I have to get through this sort of thing in order for me to get from my next level. When we have to go through our next level on a spiritual path, sometimes certain situations and things will either get worse, where we are basically kicked at the bum by the universe to make something happen, or things are taken away, where we have no other choice but to get on with what it is anyway. When it all works out, because you're on your soul path, things start to come in at the right time, whether that be the things that have been and gone and are coming back in, or brand new things, and it will all make sense when it all starts to happen for you. Because what's wonderful in the middle of the card, there is a spiritual test that I feel you've been going through. Now, spiritual tests, they can last 21 years, they can last 5 months, 6 months, whatever, but it's the Hierophant, okay? And as the middle card, this is what you could be going through right now. Extremely spiritual card, a really good card when it comes to like being more conventional, whatever conventional is for you. So like, you know, this could be like a conventional wedding, this, that, and the other. You could be going to a wedding, actually, because with the Three of Cups that came up first, in the pre-shuffle, and now with the Three of Pentacles next to it, there could be some sort of invite to a wedding, or, you know, the after party sort of thing, or some sort of celebration that you've been invited to. So if you haven't yet, look out for that, because it looks like it could be very good for you, because it could be meeting the contacts for moving forwards with this Six of Swords card coming up here. But with the Hierophant, it's somebody, you know, very highly spiritual card, and also it's just showing you that you do have what it is to move forwards in whatever shape or form that is for you. I feel on a mind level, you've had your challenges, and if you can work things through on a mind level and beat them, then anything else is going to seem like a piece of cake. It really, really is. Because in our darkest moments, you know, the darkest fears card, things can seem to be crumbling when actually they're not crumbling. They're just rearranging themselves to come together. So we just cannot see the final outcome of that. But the Hierophant there, you may be finding actually that you're becoming more in tune with spiritual things. You're trusting the universe more. And once we start to trust the universe, things are so much more easier, because we're not creating our blockages, we're not being our own kind of blockage, so to speak. But it's, you know, you could be seeking advice, you could be, but I feel this isn't so much advice from a person, this is you're seeking your own advice, you're trusting your own intuition a lot more, and you are just really kind of, yeah, you can take advice from other people, but you're not going to just, you know, take it as 100% gospel, because you're going with your gut instinct a lot more. Now, gut instincts, never wrong, never ever wrong, but it only lasts a few seconds. That's a problem, because our logical mind gets in the way a lot more, and then we think our gut feeling and our fears are like sort of two different things. So they are two different things. We mistake them. We can mistake our gut feeling for just a fear when it's not, it's a gut feeling, and vice versa. Because what's happened after this, you got the Three of Pentacles coming up here. You may be offered a new job. The money might not be as great as what you thought it would be, but there's room for progression there. So it's showing you, you know, on a money front, you can see the potential with regards to how you could earn your money. And this could be because you're starting to walk your own soul path a lot more, do your own thing. But also with regards to promotion and things like that, that's very strong when the Three of Pentacles comes up. So if you've been working on yourself, if you've been doing, you know, all your healing and like taking yourself away from certain toxic situations, or just feeling that you're ready for a new phase, it's showing up very, very strong. But you're becoming your own Hierophant rather than it being in the form of another person, because you are showing that you are the one that can change your life and nobody else, basically. And with the Three of Pentacles coming up here, it is good fortune when it comes to money, so keep going with that. If you've been going after jobs, it looks like there could be some sort of job offer coming in for you, and there could be a chance of a raise, or another way to earn money, more money in where you are now. So that's always good. Sorry, too many fell out then. I'm just going to have one more card, and then we'll see what it says. So you've got the Nine of Cups, which flew out here. Now, the Nine of Cups is one of my favourite cards of tarot, because it's self-acceptance. It is just going, I am here right now, this is where I am, and I'm happy with that. And if I'm not happy with it, then I know I can change something about it. Nine of Cups is accepting things from other people and them accepting things from you. So obviously nothing's perfect, nobody's perfect, but it's just taking that, what's the word? warts and all kind of thing. Obviously, if it's a horrendous dire situation, then get out of that situation if you can. But with the Nine of Cups, he's smiling there. He's really nice. He's really contented. And the cups are emotion, and he's surrounded by those cups also. So you could also find that you're with family a lot more. You've been interacting with your family a lot more. There could be some sort of gathering, some arrangement where you see your family. But also on a relationship note as well, this is really nice because it's finding the balance, that where the balance may have been absent for quite some sort of time. So this person who's coming towards you, that's been at a distance to you, will be coming to you in some sort of shape or form, whether that be messages or actually in a physical form, and the balance comes back in a lot more. But you'll understand why, and trust me when I say this, things have to rearrange themselves in ways we cannot understand that might seem worse, but it's always for the better. It's just trusting that process. And to start off with the Six of Swords and to finish off with the Nine of Cups is this beautiful transition. Swords of the mind, cups are emotion. You start off on a mind level, you finish on an emotional level, which is the rewarding aspect for all the things that you have gone through. So that's really, really good. And, as we're in the middle of January now, it's nice to see that it's not all like this kind of wet, rainy kind of energy that we've been feeling. It's like, nocturnal phase, but keep going with it. There's like choices for you, but these cards are saying to go with your spirit choice, the one that lights your fire, rather than the logical, sensible one. And of course, yes, we need to have an income, we need to pay our bills, but there are ways to do that without having to be unhappy all the time. Okay, so I hope that made some sense for you. Have an amazing Sunday. It's really, really sunny here in sunny Bournemouth. If you do want a private reading, just message me. Without my diary, I can't tell you what I've got available, but I think I might have one in the week somewhere, but I'll put it on the page. Have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful Monday tomorrow, and I'll speak to you soon.